It's 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Oh god, the FPL page doesn't look right. It's supposed to be bigger. I'm stressed. Welcome to the Game Week 29 deadline stream. I've taken a -4 and I've sold Salah, which I think is I'm actually kind of okay about it. The thing I'm stressed about is whether or not to wildcard. Salah is what it is, right? If I get rid of him this week and I don't wildcard, I can just wildcard him back in. I don't really care about that. I've done Salah, Cunha and Watkins to Cliver, Chris Wood and Haaland. I'm captaining Haaland. Absolutely. Like 100% I will captain Haaland this week. I'm still so tempted to wildcard though. The annoying thing is I didn't hit the button last night, and so I've already missed 0.3 million. Like because Fernandes, Evan Nilsson and Vardiol went up, and they would all be in my wildcard draft. So I don't really know what to do, if I'm honest. I'm just worried that it's the same thing I've been saying all week. I'm just worried that something will go massively wrong, and people that wildcard in 30 or 31 will be just at a massive advantage because they'll have the info. But I just don't know. I was even chatting to people just a minute ago on Discord. I just don't know how bad it can get. I don't know what the I don't know what the worst case scenario is with how the fixture could fall. Like one thing a few people are saying is that it's not guaranteed that the 34 blanks would go into 33. Even like Arsenal Palace, it's not 100% guaranteed. So you could be I hate this. I also think like wildcard 30 and 31 are going to be in the same position. They're still going to have the same things to manage. The only difference is they will know who's doubling, I guess. But there are points to be had right now. Why aren't people using free hit? Because I'd basically be left with a terrible team in Game Week 30. Like I've said this a few times this week. I think for a lot of people, wildcard is better than free hit. If you have to use a chip, if you have to use a chip, I think in a lot of cases wildcard is better than free hit. I don't think this team is that bad with a -4, but Wanyeri might not start. I think he will, by the way. Like if I had to put money on it, I think Wanyeri starts. Oh, by the way, I put out the wrong bloody. I'm all over the place this morning. I put out the wrong. Oh no, I didn't. No, I did. The second time I put out the wrong thumbnail on Twitter. Let me just fix that. Ah, you stupid. Oh. Yeah, I've got a wildcard draft ready to go. I can show you it. It's the same one as yesterday. I'm not trying to hide it. I just there's no point in having it on stream because then there'll be loads of questions about it. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to find the link for my stream, but I'm an idiot and I can't find it. Okay, that's it. Where's the correct thumbnail? That's the one. I'm live. God, look at all this. Look at this exciting behind the scenes stuff. I'm live until the Game Week 29 deadline. Salah is gone. I'll tell you what was much nicer was going out for a walk this morning. Much better than thinking about FPL, I've got to be honest. I think only once during the whole like hour and 10-minute walk I thought about FPL. So it's quite nice to have my mind taken off of it. Let me just tweet this. Let me pin... No, don't edit! Let me pin this. Mute this conversation. I will get to the chat in a minute. I just, for now... let me just sort this out. Right, I'm done. I'm done with that nonsense. Your wildcard plan was legit. I think take that path instead. I know I'm worried about the fixtures, but I'm more like basically with the draft I've got in mind, I'm gonna have to use 2 transfers straight away to get Isak back in. Not necessarily a problem. And I'm definitely not gonna have Mateta. I mean, it is possible that I get Mateta, but only if Palace don't win in the FA Cup, because then I could sell Haaland and Chris Wood. But if Palace do win in the FA Cup, I would want to not free hit in 33. Therefore, I would want to keep Haaland. Therefore, I can only get one of Isak or Mateta. It would have to be Isak. So like players like Gordon and Mateta would be very difficult to get to in my draft. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it just doesn't matter. So you spent all week saying your wildcard, and now you're just taking a -4. Was it all clickbait? Come on, stop with that nonsense. The whole way through, I never said I was 100% wildcarding. You obviously just didn't listen. What are your views on Palmer? It can't continue. No, I don't think it can continue. I mean, it can continue this week because Arsenal is a good fixture. Alisson, Trent, Semenyo to Edison. Edison withdrew from the Brazil squad, by the way. So presumably he's got a knock and won't play. I don't know if that. I don't know if it's 100% sure that he's injured, but he withdrew from the Brazil squad or he was taken out. Otherwise, that sounds okay. Yeah. Isak, Salah, Minor's bench. So jealous. Need to find the perfect plan for wildcard bench with triple captain free hit. Yeah. Good luck. I mean, to be fair, you just wait until at this point your team sounds pretty good. So you just wait for the FA Cup results and the double game weeks to get rescheduled, and then you figure it out. I don't know anything about Man City's lineup. I do know if we get a leak that Haaland is benched, I'm definitely wildcarding, but I have no idea what the team will look like. I've done a free hit and bought in Menetzi. Nice, good luck. I mean, Southampton away could be decent. Any plans for the summer break? Definitely go on holiday and not think about FPL for a month or maybe 2 weeks. I don't mean go on a holiday for a month, by the way. Best midfielder 5.7 and below. Only need them up to 31 at the most until wildcard. Got in Burma. Semenyo? I'd probably go Semenyo. Marmoush worth a punt. I'd only punt on Marmoush if you know he's starting, so you need a leak, basically. Otherwise, I just wouldn't bother, especially if you're wildcarding in 31 because you don't know if he's going to start Leicester either. What game weeks is likely getting a double game week? 32 is confirmed and 33 would have one as well. Trent for Vardiol for -4 or play O'Shea, bench Trent. I'd probably just play O'Shea, I think. If you're wildcarding 31, I'd probably do it for a hit though because you get Vardiol for Leicester as well. I sold Salah because it was the only way to get Haaland with a -4. Should I have taken a -8 and sold Trent? Possibly. But even if I'd sold Trent, I still would have had to play Utara and Ranieri. I think if, honestly, people that have kept Salah, they can wildcard in 31. They've sold Trent to get Haaland. That is such a strong position to be in. That is not the position I'm in right now. I've got myself into a bit of a mess. I would say not all my own doing. I think I've got a little bit unlucky along the way. Maybe I've got some minutes predictions wrong for some players, but I also think with the information we had at hand, I made a call and that call has gone wrong in 2 different occasions, and then Cunha got suspended, and I won't bore you all with it again, but yeah. If I wildcard, I'm not going to have Salah. That's like 100% certain. I will wildcard him out, and I can just bring him back later on. Basically, whether or not I massively need Salah is depending on when I free hit. So, let's say that Palace lose in the FA Cup and I'm free hit 33, then I'd probably look to get Salah back pretty quick. If Palace win and I'm not free hit 33, I'd probably just go without Salah because I'll free hit 34 instead. How much value have you lost on Salah? About 0.5 or 0.6, something like that. He did go down in price. That didn't affect my selling value. Yeah, I guess 0.1 less than yesterday. Hit the wildcard button last night for price rises. Am I right that if you predict the cup results right, you'll free hit in 34, and if wrong, you'll free hit in 33? It's not about whether I get the predictions for the cup right or wrong. It's about where the fixtures are likely to fall. Like basically, to simplify it, I've said this a lot on the stream already. The key is really Crystal Palace, because you should, if you're going to wildcard this week, you should either have 3 Palace or you should have a plan to have 3 Palace by 32. And you should probably have at least 2 Arsenal players. And if Palace win in the FA Cup, that means all 3 of your Palace players and your 2 Arsenal players will double in 33. So you'll have 5 doublers straight away. And then you wouldn't necessarily need to free hit in 33. It's part of the reason I also want to start with Vardio. Because if Palace win, you've got 5 doublers from Palace and Arsenal. You've got Haaland, which is 6. You've got Vardio, which is 7. If Bournemouth win as well, they might also double in 33. Yeah. It's not really about getting the prediction right or wrong. It's just, it depends on what happens. I'm not pretending. I might wildcard. That's all I can say. I've thought about it a lot. It can go wrong, but I'm not sure it can go as wrong as you think. I also think that I've seen a lot of wildcard drafts from people that aren't wildcarding, and I don't think they understand how it works. Like, yeah, I think if you haven't thought about it, it's quite hard to. If you haven't given it like a proper think this week, it's hard to kind of picture how it works, I would say. Even the videos I've done, I've not gone in depth every single week about exactly what the moves would look like. Okay, so here's the problem. If I don't wildcard this week, what's the chip plan? It's probably to wildcard in 30. And that's what's making me think just do it this week. Because although I have the FA Cup results next week, I might not have the double game week schedule. I gotta be honest. The more I talk about it, like I messaged Praz this morning. Praz must be sick of me messaging him. I'm gonna be honest. And the more I was trying to explain the predicament I'm in, the more I was thinking I should just wildcard. But also, we might get to game week 30 deadline and have the double game weeks rearranged. The Premier League might be super ready and just announce it early. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Really got no idea what I'm doing. Just as always, just generally. Skip Mateta, tough double game week fixtures, viable option. Potentially, but like, no matter how bad those fixtures are for Palace, you will want 3 of them. And if you think it's bad from an attacking point of view, it's even worse from a defensive point of view. So having like Henderson and 2 attackers or Munoz and 2 attackers is probably quite nice. And also they got Southampton in 30. And then either a double later on or they're playing 34, although that would be against Arsenal. What was your FPL thought you had on your walk? I think it was about whether I'd made the right decision to -4 or not. I can't remember what conclusion I came to. Which game week would you think to bench boost? If I wildcard, 32. If I don't wildcard, that really gets left up in the air. Thoughts on assistant manager chip now on Bournemouth or Wolves? I got to be honest, I've not thought about assistant manager really at all this week. My gut feeling is you don't play it in 29 because you're going to miss the doubles. 29, 30, 31, there's no doubles, so you probably ignore it, right? I don't mind it on Bournemouth this week. Then they got Ipswich next week. Sounds pretty good. Free hit. Thoughts on Son Foden? Is 0 Wolves players viable? 0 Wolves is definitely viable. Thoughts on Son Foden? Presumably Son will start. Although is it a guarantee that Son starts? I suppose it probably is with the international break. I would go Foden. I think is a big differential, but only if we get a leak that he's going to start. Strategically, don't wildcard for fun and engagement with viewers. Do it. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I never make this. I know people think I do, but I never make decisions based on engagement. Obviously, like I'm not stupid, right? I make YouTube videos for a living. I've sold Salah, so I'm gonna put it in the title. But I haven't sold Salah to get people through the door. But once I've done it, I might as well, put in that I've done it because that's a big call this week. But I'm not going to wildcard just because it's fun. I tell you now, though, I'll say this, and I've done it before. I've got a wildcard draft ready to go. I just need to click the button. It might happen with 5 minutes to go. The adrenaline and stuff is going to build up by the time we get there. Oh, God. Start Colwell or Utara. Have to choose both. Not good. Well, presumably you don't have to choose both, right? It's an overall. I'm starting Woot. I think it's Woot. Is it Watara or Wootara? I got to get that right because he's been talked about a lot. I'm playing him over Greaves. Is Colwell that much better than Greaves this week? I'd probably play Wootara, but I'm not 100% sure about it. Vardiol and Wanieri versus Milenkovic and Alanga Semenyo. For this week, I would go Milenkovic and Semenyo probably. And to be honest, probably for the next 2 weeks as well, because I wouldn't trust Wanieri next week. It's not about being in love with Palmer. I just think people are underestimating that he's still a pretty good option. And also, by the way, on wildcard, having Palmer, it gives you a route to Saka, which is quite nice. Like, put it this way, if I keep Palmer on wildcard, I'm not going to be annoyed that he has to play Brentford. Sorry, I think it's Spurs first, isn't it? I'm not going to be annoyed that he has to play Spurs, Brentford, Ipswich. Like, they're pretty good fixtures. Haaland, Cliver equals 9 players, and Utara or Marmouche, Bruno equals 10. I'd probably go the Haaland route, I think, for captaincy, although Bruno is fine as well. Bench one of Robinson, Mikalenko, Utara. In that case, probably Utara. Someone tell me, right, is it Wutara or Wutara? Wutara or Wutara? Woo-wah? So was Leicester and Palmer was terrible. Yeah, like I hate to break it to you, but sometimes players do blank. Yeah, it does happen. Even Salah, but not this year. Bowen to Foden for -4. No chance whatsoever. Even if you get a leak that Foden starts, I wouldn't do that. 8-point hit, or do I do a 4-point with no keeper? I personally would take a hit for a keeper, but you don't have to if you don't want to. No, I don't want to say Dango. Also, by the way, I'm tempted to. I need to message Luke actually. I need Luke to send me his draft with. I think Luke's wildcarded. I don't know if I can. Is that secret information, Luke? Luke won't be watching. But he's wildcarded with Isak instead of Chris Wood, and I'm kind of tempted to go all in on the non-Chris Wood. And also, keeping Isak's kind of handy because you know you definitely want him back. The problem is I haven't thought about Isak drafts enough. I've been so hooked on the Fernandez Chris Wood one. Watara. Okay, Watara. I'll try and get that correct. No talk about Solanke, good differential. While Spurs are in Europe, I'm not sure how much I'm really that worried about them in the league. I think Southampton is a good fixture, but that's not until game week 32, right? Solanke's fine, but I'd probably just go Chris Wood at the moment. Can't believe I'm saying that. I have Gabriel, Vardiol, Howson, and Greaves. Lucky you. -4 Greaves to any Wolves. Nah, I think if I'm going for if I'm selling Greaves to another defender, I wouldn't -4. I don't think, especially if you don't need them for game week 30. So I wouldn't do that. If you want to do it, I'd be tempted to take a punt on a Man United defender, but the safety pick is probably Forest. Ben, 60 months, thank you. Captain and vice captain, Bowen, Evan Nilsson, Mbeumo, Wood or Clivert. Probably captain Wood or Clivert. I guess you should probably go Chris Wood and then vice captain Clivert. I've gone for vice captain Clivert and captain Harden though. Son as part of a free hit differential. I really don't mind it. So from every time I've looked at free hit this week, I've basically had Fernandez, Clivert and Semenyo pretty much locked in. I think the fourth spot, if you're playing 3-4-3, is kind of up for debate. I had Mbeumo in at first, but Mbeumo, I don't know. I find players like Mbeumo tricky because you're going out of your way not to go for them, but they're actually just solid picks. But on a free hit, is it not more interesting to go somewhere else, like a Son? Would I play Howson or Dango's 20 minutes? Probably Howson, I think. To fund Haaland, Vardiol and Menezzi or Kirkes and Alanga. I'm benching the midfielder next week. Wildcard in 31. 5k in the world. Nice, by the way. You're benching the midfielder. Oh, I'd probably go Vardiol or Menezzi then because I think Vardiol is. Oh no, Kirkes got Ipswich, hasn't he? I don't know if Menezzi's minutes are like perfect, by the way. For safety, I'd probably go Kirkes and Alanga. Start Utara or Castagna. It should probably be Castagna, I think. Like it's possible that, like it is. We have to like acknowledge it is possible Utara starts, right? It's not 20 minutes for Dango. If the Evan Nielsen thing is true, he's starting. What Evan Nielsen thing? Is this like... This is the problem today. We're going to have so much rubbish, right? I've not seen anything about Evan Nielsen, so I feel like you're just trolling me. I could do without the trolling today. Thanks very much. As an FPL veteran, I think Wildcard 29 is the player. I'm just worried you sold Salah can be difficult to get him back. It's not that difficult. You just sell Haaland, right? Like, it's Haaland or Salah for me. I mean, maybe I could work it so I sell Palmer instead. I'm pretty sure I'm going no Salah captain for the foreseeable future anyway. Evan Nielsen's done his ACL, be out for 2 hours. Apparently, Evan Nielsen was sick after eating too many Jaffa cakes. We've all been there. We've all been there. The issue with people telling you how to pronounce Ouattara in the chat is they don't understand phonetics, so they don't tell you correctly. Just call him Dango. Okay. I'll look it up next. Well, if he keeps getting benched, people won't keep asking about him, I guess. Imagine if Haaland blanks after all this. I mean, he could blank, right? Any player can blank. Yeah, sorry. People keep asking, can they see what the wildcard draft is like? I just realised I don't actually have it ready. So give me a second, I'll put it together. Like I've thought about it so much, I can just do it right off the top of my head. Like it's basically Raya Henderson, Gabriel, Livramento, Byrne, Nico Williams, probably. I think Nico Williams is the player I'm least sure about, just because I'm not 100% confident exactly who the best fifth defender is to go for. But Nico Williams is pretty good for bench boost 32. He's pretty good this week. Might have a double later on, so I think that's who I go with. You seem on edge. Chill. Do I feel like I'm maybe not being able to get my words out is that. I don't think I'm on edge. I don't know if that's how I would describe it right now. There is a lot going on. Also, by the way, wild carding in Semenyo, he is on 8 yellow cards. That could potentially be a problem. And if you get to 10 yellow cards, it's a 2-game suspension, not 1. So Palmer would stay. Bruno Fernandes would obviously be in. Honestly, all the clickbait stuff is like such like I'm just gonna block all those people. It's just such nonsense. Like you're not allowed to talk about your team unless you're like 100% sure exactly what you're gonna do. Like just go away, please. Evan Nielsen. I'm nearly there with the wildcard draft, by the way. Evan Nielsen, and then the final midfielder is SALAH rather than Eze because he's a bit cheaper and Eze can come in later on. I suspect KDB will probably start, but I don't know if I could guarantee you that. I won't guarantee any Man City players, to be honest, apart from Haaland. It'd be funny if Haaland misses out, right? So this is the wildcard draft. Basically, it looks like this. So I've just got to click 2 buttons and I'm done. That looks alright for -4. You might as well do Trent Vardiol for an extra hit spread over 2 weeks. Yeah, I guess I could do that. But the thing, yeah. But then it's a -8. Why am I not just wildcarding? You know? I save 8 points straight away. I can just wildcard. I can just take hits later. If I wildcard now and I get stuck, I could wildcard. How can someone be so vexed about someone else's team? People are strange. People are strange. If you say anything, then don't do it. Like it's all just clickbait. Despite me saying a million times, I'm either going to take a hit or I'm going to wildcard. And so I've just taken a hit. I did say I was probably leaning more towards the -8, but in the end, I just decided to sell Salah. Wildcard is worth more than 8 points, but it's not just saving the points. It's also having a better team, right? Now, some of the changes, like. The thing with the changes is they won't necessarily work out this week. Like I'd have Raya instead of Pickford. I don't necessarily think that's an upgrade. I would have Evan Nielsen instead of Mbeumo. Mbeumo could absolutely outscore him. I would have Fernandes instead of Wanyeri, though, and Semenyo instead of Ouattara. And Vardiol is also pretty good this week. So it's not just about saving the -4. It's also having a better team, which is worth points, and also having a better team next week as well. Liverpool next 4 means I still want a couple with no double. Yeah, I'm telling you now, whether I wildcard in 30 or 31, I will not have more than one Liverpool, and that's Salah. That's the only Liverpool player I've got any interest in right now. Potentially, if Trent's out for a while and Bradley's back, he becomes a potential option 4.7, but it is what it is. Oh, Luke sent me his Isak draft. So he's got Isak instead of Chris Wood. He's got Alanga in there. Oh, he's got triple Arsenal defence. Raya, Gabriel, Saliba. I kind of want to go back to triple Arsenal defence. I just know that Cole Palmer will wipe the clean sheet this week. I'd much rather the -8 and wildcard 31 with full knowledge. But again, it's not just the -8. This is why it's so difficult to try and explain wildcard 29, because people's teams are good, so they've not thought about it. My team would also be improved this week and next week. It's not just the 8-point hit. Like, even if I take a 8-point hit this week to get Vardiol, I'm still left with Mikalenko against Liverpool, Pickford against Liverpool, and then playing one of Wanyeri or Utara next week. So do I take another hit next week? Then we're up to a -12. You know, is it still worth it, you know? Maybe, maybe not. Suggested chip strategy. I've still got wildcard, assistant manager, free hit, bench boost. If you don't need to use a chip this week, figure it out in game week 30. I think assistant manager is really tricky. It will depend on how the FA Cup results fall. If you need to bench boost in 33, I guess you could leave the assistant manager until later on, like 36 to 38. Like, if you wildcard in 30, you could assistant manager 31 to 33, but then I don't know where you use the bench boost. Honestly, assistant manager is just a head ache. If Bournemouth beat City in the Cup, why would City double in 33? Because they would blank in 34. Oh, sorry, because Man City either Man City or Villa need to win to double. They don't both need to win. Captain Wood or Haaland, I would definitely go Haaland. If we get Elite Marmouche is bench, -8 for Haaland. Oh, because you own Marmouche. But I mean, it's a -4, right? So, yeah, potentially. Unless you have to make like 2 or 3 moves. I guess in that, if it's just literally a -8 to get Haaland, you can maybe just captain someone else. Sell João Pedro to Evan Nielsen, Strand Larsen for a -4. I wouldn't do that. Transfer Harwood Bellis plus 3 million for a hit. But Gabriel Vardiol. Not unless it massively helps you for next week as well. Beto to Evan Nielsen for a -4. No chance would I do that. Is game week 30 the best week to start the managership? Again, potentially. I'll probably be able to tell you more once we get the FA Cup results. Bellegarde, Agbadou, or Wanyeri, Doherty, Sats Mazraoui. Bellegarde and Agbadou, probably. Mbermo to Bruno, -4. No chance. Worth a -4 for Bruno, Chris Wood, Sally is that over Greaves, Gibbs White. If you need it for captaincy, yes. Otherwise, probably not. Is it worth it to sell Salah and Gakpo to Kluivert and Haaland captain? It is if you're willing to take the team value hit on Salah and you can wildcard him back in later on. 4 free transfers. Trent, Rodgers, Visser, Vard. Oh, sorry. Trent, Rodgers, and Visser to Vardy or Kluivert Wood keeps Palmer. 1 free transfer. Or Trent, Rodgers, Palmer, Visser, Milenkovic, Kluivert, Elanga, Haaland. I quite like using all 4 and getting Haaland, to be honest. But I would say that, right? Because I've got Haaland as well. Where do we land on Castagna? Yeah, I answered that one already. I'm liking the wild card. Maybe Strand Larsen or Beto instead of Evan Nielsen. No, the idea with Evan Nielsen is he could double in 33. And also he's got Ipswich at home next week. Beto's got terrible fixtures for next week. The only way I would get Beto is if I put a Salah draft together. And then I'd basically be selling Beto pretty quickly. Like, basically, I would sell Haaland or Salah to fund a move for Beto to Isak. Captain Wood or Haaland? Yeah, Haaland for me, for sure. Are you worried about all the players you're guessing would double in 33 by wildcarding early? But the thing is, it's an educated guess, right? Based on what Ben and James and people like that are saying. Like, we kind of know there's a good chance that if Man City or Villa win, they will double in 33. If Bournemouth win, then they and Man United will double in 33. If Palace win, then Arsenal Palace will double in 33. Like, it's an educated guess, right? It might well fall that those fixtures don't go where they've been predicted. Like they might have it wrong. Like, the Premier League might decide to do something different. But it's an educated guess, right? We know which teams are available in the FA Cup, so we know who can double. It's just about where exactly it goes. You weren't tempted by Murphy instead of double Newcastle defence? Not really, no. Haven't really included him at all. Why do we have the same team? Well, we don't. This is my potential wildcard team. This is my actual team for a -4. Yeah, look, it's going to be like this is only going to go one or two ways. Either I don't wildcard and my wildcard team will do amazing and I'll be like 25 points behind by tonight, or a wildcard and actually I could have just got through with a -4. Like it's impossible to know, right? Utara to Semenya -4, or start Utara to save money in the bank for Palmer to Salah next week. So I could do the same thing, right? I could do Utara to Semenya -4. I'm probably not going to do it, but I am a bit tempted, I'll be honest. But I guess if you want the route to get Salah back, you know what to do, right? Does that have money in the bank? It does, but not enough to do Wood to Isak in one move. Basically, you would do Bruno to Eze, so that would be 3 Crystal Palace players, and then Chris Wood to Isak, that'd be 3 Newcastle. So I would have Henderson, Eze, Sarr, Isak, Burn, Livramento ready to go for 32. With my 2 free transfers, then in 31, 32, 33, I can roll, so I'd have another 3 transfers. I mean, I say I could roll. Obviously, injuries could crop up, but injuries could crop up straight after wildcard 31 as well. It's more likely it happens after 29 because of the international break, of course. But, yeah. The thing is, oh, God. I really can't help this week. So here's my thought process, right? I actually don't mind taking a -4 for Trent to Vardio because he's useful this week and next week. So it delays the wildcard till 31. I also don't mind Utara to Semenyo because I think that's actually a pretty good move for the next 2 weeks. But then I'm up to a -12. So why am I not just wildcarding at that stage? That's the like back and forth in my head is let's say I had no chips right now. Like 0 chips because for whatever reason I've blown them early. I'd probably be taking hits for Trent to Vardio and Utara to Semenyo to make my team better for next week as well. But because I've got the wild card, it doesn't make all that much sense to be taking up -8s, -12s. Don't sleep on Marmoush. I mean, Marmoush was sleeping last week on the bench. I don't think there'll be huge price hikes over the next 2 weeks, to be honest. But there'll be a bit, but... I think, as always, around chip time, people... And again, I feel like I've always got to explain myself. As I've said all week, many, many times, if you don't need to wildcard 29, you should not even be thinking about it. You should be saving your wildcard till 31. That is the safest plan, the best plan, if that's what you can do. But I also think people overestimate how kind of screwed over you're going to get if you go early. You're still going to manage your team. You're going to be able to roll transfers, right? People who are not wildcarding or free hitting, they're using all their transfers to get through 29. Then they'll use all their transfers the next couple of weeks to get to 31. And then their wildcard, unless they're in a really, really strong position, their wildcard with no saved transfers. I'll wildcard now, but I'll start rolling once I've got Isak back in. Theoretically. So I'm still going to be able to manage the rest of the season. Could I get screwed over? Yes. Could it work out? Yes. Like I'm 200k. Like I almost feel like whatever at this point. Whatever. But then again, there's 10 weeks left, so maybe I shouldn't be thinking about that just yet. That it's over already. Yes. I feel like you must have heard that a few times across various pieces of content, right? Wildcard 31. Yes. If you can wildcard that week, that is the week you should do it. 100%. My team is almost the same as yours, and I'm nowhere near wildcarding. But if it's not the same, then it's not the same debate, right? 200k this stage of the season ain't great for a Y-tuber. Yeah. Yeah. I've done Alisson, Salah, Isak, Cunha to Sarr, Bruno, Evan Nielsen, Haaland, Evan Nielsen for -8. Mistake. Probably not. You can always wildcard Salah back in. It would just cost you a bit more money. Visser out for a mic. Nope. On a free hit, do Evan Nielsen. Oh, sorry. Or start. Will Visser out for a -4 for Evan Nielsen or start with Tara and Visser? I wouldn't sell Visser. I mean, if anything, you'd sell with Tara for the -4, right? On a free hit, do Evan Nielsen and Iwobi starting and Burmo bench? Or do Raul Jimenez and Semenyo starting in Burmo bench, or maybe just starting Burmo boring? I would definitely start Evan Nilsson. Evan Nilsson's better than Raul Jimenez in my... I mean, Raul Jimenez is pretty good, but I'd prefer Evan Nilsson, I think. I'd go Evan Nilsson in Burmo over Iwobi. 1 free transfer. Roll or do Palmer to Bruno or Raya to Sells? I mean, I'd probably roll. If you're going to do one of those, I'd do Palmer to Bruno. Would captain Palmer Greaves for free? Would Haaland captain Ouattara at -4? Probably the -4, but Chris Wood could absolutely match Haaland or even outscore him. Haaland and Nico Williams in for Isak and Trent -8, keeping Salah. Yeah, don't mind it if you really want Haaland captaincy. Odegaard, Trossard, etc. Best Arsenal midfielder for free hit. Probably Odegaard on penalties, even though he's only got like 3 goals this season. Start Dallo or Ain't Nori. Flip a coin. I'm going to say Dallo, but I think most people would say Ain't Nori. I've done Allison. Oh, sorry, I did that one. Need 3 chances to get Haaland. Took a -4. Moved early on 2 to avoid being priced out. Can get a good 11 for 29. Visit to Haaland for -8 or free in 30. If you have to take another 8 points worth of hits and you're already on 11 with a decent team and a good captain, I'd maybe just put it off until next week. Is selling Colwood to Vardiol for a -4 worth it? It might be when you include next week as well, but for this week only, not really, I would say. I think so. I think this could be a low-scoring week. I really disagree. I think there's lots of good fixtures and lots of good players. If I was going to pick a Man City midfielder without getting leaks, I would pick Foden, I think. I think Vandenberg will be involved. I think you'll probably get at least a... I think you'll get at least a point. I suspect he'll come off the bench at a minimum. So it's probably similar to Greaves. Someone's just messaged me. Remember Game Week 29 last year, averaged 12 points. Yeah, but like, there's been plenty of... I've taken -12s in blanks before and been well up as well. Like, you know, getting hat tricks and braces. Like, I think not doing something this season because last season 29 went really badly. It's just a really bad way of thinking about it. People are basically underestimating Man City quite a lot, I think, this week. I think Bournemouth versus Brentford are really good options. Mbeumo's solid. I think Everton defenders are good this week. I think Arsenal defenders and attackers are probably pretty good as well. I think Chris Wood is decent. I think Man United defenders, Bruno Fernandes, they're all really good. I think the idea that this Game Week 29 is going to be the same as last Game Week 29, I just don't agree. Like, it could end up like that. But I think last year was a massive anomaly. Like, everything that could go wrong just went wrong. And it was just one of those things. I think people are overhyping. But yeah, like, everyone apparently is overhyped. Like, what makes you think they're overhyped? Like, they're one of the best attacks in the league. They're all really good value. Brentford at home's a good fixture. Ipswich at home's a good fixture. No one's saying they're essential, but it's hard to deny they're decent. Last year's Game Week 29 saw us relying on teams like Luton. Yeah, in hindsight, it went really badly. Really badly. I really don't think it's the same this season. I think people have got it wrong. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I really wouldn't worry about a -8 this week. Virtually everyone else not on free hit wildcard will be taking minimum 1 hit. Yeah, but I don't really care what everyone else is doing. I want to do what's best for my team. I do understand what you're saying. Like, taking a -8 this week might not be as bad as taking it in other weeks. I get it. But also, if I don't take that -8, then I'm already 8 points up, and my team is better than my old team. I'm still listening to bloody Phoenix. Need to change that. Is Foden guaranteed to start? I don't think any Man City attacker apart from Haaland is guaranteed to start, to be honest with you. Captain him or Chris Wood? I think you've got to go Wood without the knowledge that Foden starts. He probably will, like would be my guess, but I cannot I cannot guarantee you that, obviously. But yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't. But you never know. I know. The thing is, I did try and explain that on my free hit video, or when I talked about free hit yesterday. I would have Foden, but only if he's leaked to start. Otherwise, I wouldn't take the risk. I'm thinking Edison as an option on wildcard. He came out of the Brazil squad on the international breaks. There's a little bit of a concern. I think Tavernier will probably start, yes, but I wouldn't buy him. He's not as nailed as like a Semenyo or a Cliver, I don't think. It's going to be really funny if I wildcard and Ouattara starts. Get Haaland in and take a -8 or go without him -4. If you've got a decent alternative captain, you could just take the -4. I don't think most people are that worried about not having Haaland this week. Is Evan Nielsen a must now? No. Bournemouth attacking guaranteed start. I mean, he's a good option. I wouldn't say he's a must. I think Evan Nielsen is better than João Pedro, yes. But if you've got João Pedro, I wouldn't make the transfer. Arez 19 months, thank you. Isaac to Haaland to fund it would do Rodgers to Dibbling or Mbeumo to Gibbs White. Don't have to start Dibbling. I think Mbeumo is probably close. I'd probably do Rodgers to Dibbling, I guess. Marmoush to Evan Nielsen if leaked to start. If Marmoush is leaked to start, I would just keep him, no? Unless I'm missing something. I took a hit for Regulon last year, got a red cut. Yeah, he was terrible. I had him on free hit. Honestly. I was away that weekend. Like my wife's birthday is always around game week 29. We were away and I was on the beach looking at my team like, oh my god. Is anyone having Vodafone broadband issues in Lancashire currently down here? Let Stuart know if you're having broadband issues in Lancashire. With Vodafone specifically. Is Mbeumo really needed now if you wildcard in 31? No, he can be sold, but I wouldn't be taking hits to get rid of him. Have you missed the 90s nostalgia chat? No, but on my walk this morning, I thought of something. Oh, I saw people rollerblading, and I was thinking that was another 90s thing. I used to have rollerblades with like plastic wheels, and the dream was always to have I think they were Bauer something. They had like a number after them. They were like rubber wheels, black with a bit of yellow on, I think. Always wanted them, never had them. My starting 11, Pickford, Gabriel, Vardiol, Mikalenko, Greaves, Kluivert, Semenyo, and Mbeumo, Wood, Haaland, Raheem. Should I go for Greaves to Milenkovic -4? No, I think you've got a really strong team and I would just leave it. Very jealous of that team. Semenyo, Edison, Colwell, or Bruno, Kepa, Vardiol, -4. Probably the -4, I think. If Marmoush is benched, then take a hit. Okay, then yeah, I'd probably do that. Start Raya or Pickford? Ooh, good question. I'm tempted to say Pickford. But it's very close. I didn't wear knee pads in that. No, I don't think so. I wasn't really like that ambitious in terms of like how I would rollerblade. West Ham will win. I'm not so sure. I think Everton are good. How much am I losing on Salah? I can't remember, to be honest. Like 0.5, 0.6, something like that. Start Bowen or João Pedro? Bowen for me, I think. Quite close, though, if they both start. But with Bowen, you've got a guaranteed start, haven't you? Start Sells or Jose Sarr? Oof. I think it's quite close. I'd probably just go Sells because Forest defence has been superior. Nico Williams and Vardiol or Milenkovic and Kirkes? Nico Williams and Vardiol or Milenkovic and Kirkes? I've read that twice. I'm not even... I think for the next 2 weeks I go Nico Williams and Vardiol actually, could Nico Williams get benched next week? Possibly. I think if it's this week only, Milenkovic and Kirkes. If it's both weeks, it's a bit closer. Probably Nico Williams and Vardiol. Another -4 to go Ouattara to Kluivert. I think that's fine if you want to do that. Yeah, I really do think it's fine. I'm a little bit tempted to do Ouattara to Semenyo. I've only got a million. Actually, I'm actually a little bit tempted. Like, let's say 3%. It's that small. To do Ouattara to Garnacho instead of Semenyo, and then just force wildcard 30. Vardiol or Kirkes to transfer in. I think It's really close between the two. I just about side with Vardy for the next 2 weeks, but it's almost coin flip, I think. Am I concerned about basically having no bench? I think having Greaves is probably quite decent this week. Some people are going to have 0 bench. I think Haaland will be highly owned this week, but I think Chris Wood will be more heavily captained. Which just makes me want to go against him even more. Imagine a Chris Wood blank against Ipswich, but I'm probably going to have him. Yeah, I think I'm actually ahead of most people with a bench this week. Although I've got Ouattara, so it doesn't really count. Why do people say, how much are you losing on Salah? You gain that money because he rose while you owned him. Only lose less money than others when you buy him next time. That is true, yeah, but I think most people assume, probably correctly, that Salah is going to have to come back at some point, and so it will be money lost. Which is fair. Haven't kept up this week. What's the news on Trent? Slot said he expects him back before the end of the season. So he's probably missing game week 30. But that hasn't been 100% confirmed. I suspect he's missing more than game week 30. Sells, Gabriel, Mikalenko, Castagna, Milenkovic, Hull, Palmer, Mbermo, Clive, Wood, and Gakpo. I don't have a free hit or wildcard chip, and I have 1.4 in the bank with 2 free transfers. Raya on the bench. What do you need help with? That team's really good, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guaranteed players. Just use your 2 free transfers. Who should you bring in? I think Bournemouth are pretty good over the... I'm tempted to say just roll with the 9 players in your case because you've got no chips to bail you out. And you want to start buying Newcastle and Palace soon. Honestly, I'd be tempted to roll with 9. And just don't commit to anything this week. It's hard to know with no chips, but that's my gut feeling. Start Son, Beto, or Bowen. It should be. I feel like it should be Son that I say. I'm really tempted just to say Beto. I think I'd play Beto ahead of Bowen this week, which I know sounds crazy, but I'm going to go with the home fixture. Yeah. If you do wildcard this week, I know 2 to 3 weeks down the line you'll be miffed you don't have it. Potentially I'm just well set up for 32 and I just roll with it. I think the hope really is that the fixtures fall in a way. Like if I wildcard this week, the hope would be that the fixtures fall in a way that I've got to free hit in 33. That's the dream, because then I'm not concerned the fact I can't bench boost in 33 and I can just get 11 doublers and manage game week 34. If it falls in a way where I've got to free hit 34 instead, it's not unmanageable, but it does become a little bit trickier. Guys, there's no Man City news. We're not guaranteed to get it either, by the way. Is there any chance Ouattara starts? I mean, there's a chance, yeah. Not very big, though. Trent, Palmer, Isak for Murillo, Bruno, Haaland, -8. Selling Palmer as a part of a -8 doesn't sound amazing to me, but I also do not hate it. I think it's okay. Salah and Njai to Haaland and Wanyeri for -4. I wouldn't buy Wanyeri right now. Would take a hit to swap to a playing goalkeeper? Yes, I think I would. And just hope for the clean sheet plus. Which is not guaranteed, but could happen. Trent to Matsurari for a hit. Depends who you're benching. If you've got no player, then yes, I would do it. Any chance we'll get Bournemouth news? I would say no chance. By the way, people asking me what transfers I made. It's all in the bottom right corner. Should be visible enough. Should be visible enough. Let's take a quick look at the wildcard again. So essentially, it'll be Raya over Pickford. I don't think that's not an advantage to wildcarding, right? I think playing Pickford this week is great. You could argue Pickford's better than Raya, I think. Slightly. Nico Williams instead of Joachim Andersen. I think people would say that's an upgrade. Vardio instead of Mikalenko. It's probably just about an upgrade, I would say. Semenyo instead of Mbermo. Probably not an upgrade. Oh, the bottom right is... No, it hasn't. I don't think it has. Let me see. Well, even if it has froze, it's on my moves. Cliver is in already. Fernandez instead of Woutara. I mean, that's an upgrade, right? I think everyone agrees. It has frozen, you're right. But at least it's on my moves. Wide? Okay. Let's see if it moves now. Hang on. Come on. There we go. Yeah, Fernandez instead of Woutara. Haaland and Wood are in anyway. Then Evan Nielsen ahead of Wanyeri. Is that enough upgrades? Nico Williams instead of Anderson. Vardio instead of Mikalenko. Semenyo instead of Mbermo. Fernandez instead of Woutara. Evan Nielsen instead of Wanyeri. Wanyeri's probably starting though. Palmer goes nuclear today. I doubt it. Cole Palmer Hall would be the most FPL thing ever. It wouldn't be that shocking though. The guy is pretty good at football. Like we have seen it many times. I can do a captaincy poll. Yeah, good idea. Let me just do this. Your Game Week 29 captain is Haaland, Wood. I'm going to put Fernandez in. I think Fernandez and Clivert are both quite popular. I'm not sure who's more popular. So if you've got Clivert, you'll have to go with someone else. Okay, let's have a look. Ali, thank you. -4 done. Another to get Hudson-Odoi for Woutara, have Wanyeri. If it's to bench Wanyeri, I wouldn't do that, I don't think. Worth keeping 1 million in the bank if wildcarding now. If you don't need it, yes. I was also thinking the same with role 9 players, but then captaincy is an issue. I'm thinking Clivert or Wood. I think both of those are fine as an alternative to Haaland. Oh, I didn't notice you didn't have Haaland, though. You probably can't easily get to Haaland, though, right? So I think captaining Clivert or Wood in your situation's fine. Bench, Salah, Minoz, Isak. Plan to take a -8 to replace Trent and Mateta due to injuries. Mateta might be back by 30, by the way. Should I buy Marmoush or Evan Nielsen? Evan Nielsen and Vardio or Kirkes? I'd probably buy Vardio. Palmer plays tomorrow, by the way, but yes. He could score. What about buying Bruno or Clivert? So basically, I bought Clivert and Chris Wood. I could have bought Fernandez and Evan Nielsen. It's really close. I don't know who's better, Bruno or Clivert, honestly. I think it's really close. Like coin flip territory. I'm gonna say Bruno slightly better, but I'm not even sure I'm confident in that. Saying that. Ultimately, I probably went Clivert and Chris Wood mostly because it's 2 penalty takers, whereas Bruno and Evan Nielsen's only 1. But I have all 5 chips remaining. What game weeks do I use them? I don't know. I genuinely do not know when you should use them right now. I think you have to wait for the FA Cup results. Like if you've not used them at this point, just wait. Wait for the FA Cup results and then work it out. Potentially, you could wildcard 31, triple captain 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, assistant manager 36 to 38, something like that. Can I tell you if that's the right way to do it at this point in time? No. Do I think that trying to explain the assistant manager chip with everything else to people is a nightmare? Yes. And actually, I was thinking yesterday, I wonder how stuff like the FPL show is trying to explain when people should use assistant manager. Like, it's an absolute nightmare with all the other chips left. But that would be my gut feeling. Wildcard 31, triple captain 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, assistant manager 36 to 38. But it might not work out like that. If Crystal Palace have back-to-back doubles, you'll want to use assistant manager 32, 33. And then it depends what your team looks like right now. No free transfer. Trent and Woutara to Vardio and Clivert, or Palmer and Visser to Semenyo and Haaland. Second choice means having Haaland, but also starting Danga and Greaves for 11. Should I wildcard? I'm not going to tell anyone they should wildcard. It's headache inducing as it is. You should probably, my gut feeling is you should probably do the first one, which guarantees you 2 players. But I quite like the second one. No, hang on, no, you can't sell Palmer and Visser. That's madness, I think. Yeah, Trent and Ouattara, I would say. I didn't forget to respond. I said I probably would just captain one of those 2 players. Captain Bruno over Haaland, thoughts? I wouldn't do that, but you could do that, yes. There's no Chris Wood news, people. Please keep in mind, well, maybe there is, I haven't seen it, but please keep in mind people just have nothing better to do than troll. So when you say, is the Chris Wood news true? What Chris Wood news? Like, what reputable source has this come from? We'll be travelling 15 hours flight during deadline for 31 where I plan to wildcard. Oof. Nice. When do you do the sleeper prize to the prize winners? Yeah, I'm a bit slow. I usually do them within like 2 weeks probably. Usually a bit quicker, but I don't think I've done last week's. If you have Bruno, would you captain Chris Wood? Probably. I think it's really close between Wood, Fernandes, and even Kluivert. Chris Wood, it's in other streams, isolating. Come on, what is this? Like 2019 or whatever year it was? 2020. Do you know what someone should do? They should reply to the England squad announcement and say, no, Chris Wood is a disgrace. Like, that's a good joke. Guys, I think you might be getting trolled quite a lot. Why is no one free hitting? People are free hitting. I think Foden's fine if he starts. Best goalkeeper for 2 weeks, probably Kepa, I think. Why playing 11 after a -8 thought? Sells nice, Gabriel nice, Howson nice, Milenkovic nice, Mikolenko nice, Bruno nice, Semenyo nice, Minter not bad, Palmer not bad, Wood nice, and Haaland captain. Yeah, real nice. All looks pretty decent, to be honest with you. Bournemouth haven't been that good recently, by the way. I see Brentford winning. Cool. Is that true, though? To be fair, Bournemouth have... You're right, they have lost like 3 of the last 5. They've only beaten Southampton. Pretty terrible. I still think they'll win today, though. I still think they're good, even if they lost recently. It happens. Maybe it's because they've put Evan Nilsson back in. Maybe dropping Ouattara is the problem. Although Ouattara did play 4 of those 5, so maybe not. Yeah, Bournemouth were very good against Spurs. They shouldn't have let them back in, really. Trent and Visser out and roll the transfer or Ouattara to Semenyo also. If you're trying to wildcard 31 and Semenyo also helps you next week, I'd be tempted to do it. Yeah, Zabani was out for 3 weeks. Yeah, he was suspended. He's back. That is true. Oh, man, I can... if I wildcard, I'm going to have 3 Bournemouth players for their match tonight, and there's part of me that still won't want to watch it because when Ouattara comes on, I'm just thinking, don't score. How does no one have any Wolves players? I've tripled up. I have looked at like Agbadou and 8 Nuri on wildcard, but that's about it. Actually, I've looked at Jose Sarr as well, briefly. He's come up. Let me go back to the actual team, by the way. Next game week seems scary with no Salah. Yeah, he could do really well. Right, I'm going to... Okay, let's just get rid of this rubbish. What was I trying to say? I can't remember what I was saying now. Talking some rubbish, probably. Oh, yeah, no Salah. Yeah, he could do really well. A lot of people will captain him as well. And I'm going to go Haaland and hope for the best. I haven't seen anything that convinces me that Salah will outscore Haaland in Game Week 30. Am I worried about not having a Wolves attacker? Not really. I mean, they're fine, but like, is Strand Larsen better than Chris Wood? Is Menetzi better than Kluivert? Is Strand Larsen better than Haaland? Is Munoz over Burn on wildcard not better with Salah playing Southampton next week? For that week, he's better, yeah. But what about the weeks after where Burn's got Leicester away, better double, Ipswich at home in 34? Like, I think with Munoz, there's part of me, like, if I wildcard this week, there's part of me that is almost more worried about not having Munoz than not having Salah in a stupid way. But every time I put a draft together, he just hasn't been on it. Witara won't start today, FYI. He might, though. But yeah, he probably won't. You're probably right. There's no confirmed time when leaks will happen. We might not even get any leaks. Raul or Evan Nielsen? Evan Nielsen. Haaland or Bruno captain? Haaland. Is Marmoush to Haaland for a hit worth it? Palmer to Kluivert and Marmoush to Haaland. So Bruno captain and Marmoush versus Haaland captain and Kluivert for -4. If Marmoush starts, I just keep Bruno captain. If we get a leak that he doesn't, I'd do the Haaland move. For a crowded draft game for 1 week, Anderson or Heaven? I think Heaven will start, but it's not like a guarantee. It could. Anderson definitely will. Excuse me. Trent and Vissa out and roll the. I did that one, didn't I don't know how much value. It was like 0.5 or 0.6 million. I think I got him at 12.7, I think. How am I going to navigate 32 to 34? Well, if I don't wildcard, I'll wildcard soon. If I do wildcard, I'll free hit in 33 or 34. I wish there were more weeks when Salah wasn't automatic captain. I think there's a lot of weeks coming up where you could go against Salah if you really want to. Like this week, obviously, Haaland's got Leicester at home in 30. Isak's got Leicester away in 31. Isak's got a double in 32. Haaland will probably have a double in 33. Captain Salah in 34. 35, he's got like Chelsea at home, and then 36 is Arsenal away or something like that. Can you imagine the scenes if Haaland gets benched? Yeah, obviously it would be absolutely horrible, but the guy's not been benched at all season when fit. Isak Gordon Henderson out for Evan Nielsen, Bruno, Sar -4, or Gordon Trent Henderson out for Bruno, Vardio, Sar, and keep Isak for next week. Yeah, I'd probably keep Isak, I think, if you can. Who do you hate on this wildcard? Sells, Henderson, Gabriel Vardio, Aitnuri, Munoz, Livramento, Bruno, Kluivert, Savio, Odegaard, Murphy, Haaland, Widow. I don't hate anyone. Odegaard's fine, I guess. Been a bit disappointing this season. Maybe he'll turn that around. His underlying numbers are pretty poor. Yeah, FPL Tony has tweeted he wants you to sign up to Patreon. Savio is fine, but like I always worry about Man City attackers. Like, is anyone else going to start right wing right now? Possibly not, but they could, right? That's always my worry. Bellegarde is probably the safest Wolves midfielder if you're going to go that way. Why are people letting go of Salah? I think, to put it into perspective, most people are not selling Salah. Savio's pretty much nailed at right wing. Yeah, Yeah, Marmoush was nailed recently. Why am I holding Trent? I don't need a defender, really. Yeah, Salah's had 441,000 transfers out, but a lot of them will just be free hitters, so they're getting back next week. Thoughts on Trent Tadallo, and should I take a -4 for a goalkeeper, and which one? Trent Tadallo, I don't mind. Should I take a -4 for a goalkeeper? Yes, probably Kepa if you're trying to go 2 weeks, I think, before wildcard 31. Am I sure about Ouattara? Sure about what? Like, I'm sure he's probably not going to start. I'm less sure about whether it's worth a -4 to replace him. Maybe it is. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should take the -8. But if maybe I should take the -8. Maybe I should just, oh God. I just want the deadline. 56 minutes, 54 seconds. I can't wait. Go and get some lunch and just forget about it. Bruno better captain or Chris Wood? I'd probably go Chris Wood, but it's really close between the two. Who should we triple captain? Probably Isak in 32, depending on what other chips you're using. In what game week and how many Haaland points later will people agree you made a good decision selling Salah? I don't think it will happen. I think Salah's too good and he'll keep scoring points. And people will do well about him. I mean, obviously, if Haaland gets a brace this week and a hat-trick next week, it looks a little bit better. But Salah could also get a hat-trick next week. If you were world number 1, what would you do this week? I'd probably be even more stressed than I already am, to be honest. If I was world number 1, I wouldn't be in this mess, to be honest with you. I would have a better team. Wildcard 31 playing 3 free transfers. Isak Palmer to Haaland Semenyo versus Isak Palmer Bowen. Just the first one. Bowen's fine. Need to replace Fabianski. Henderson is second goalkeeper. Who should I bring in, Sells or Pickford? Probably. I mean, you're going to play Henderson like most weeks after this week, so it's whoever's best this week. If you don't want to double up on Everton, I think it Sells. Do I sometimes not enjoy these deadline moments and streaming? No, I love streaming deadline streams. Like, there is part of me that sometimes thinks it would be easier to manage my team. Like this, like not most weeks, but this week in particular, it would probably be handy if I wasn't streaming to focus on my team. But it is what it is, right? It's part of the job, and it's not like I haven't given like the amount of thought I've given wildcard this week is actually disgraceful. Like so many drafts and like different weeks and scenarios I've looked at. Like it's too much. It's too much time. I'm so glad it's international break. Get to watch Jordan Henderson in an England shirt again. World number 1 is in a mess with Munoz, Hall, Marmoush, Salah, Isak, Wanyeri. They're also world number 1, right? Managed to get out a full 11 without taking any hits. Seeing that everyone around me will be taking hits, could you get behind the idea of a -4 to swap Matoma? No, I wouldn't swap Matoma out for -4. Matoma's actually pretty good from next week. Trent to Vardy -4 or Mateta to Evan Nielsen -4 also, or play Greaves free. Trent to Vardy, I think. Like Mateta's going to be good next week. Take the Ancelotti approach. Friendship and vibes will carry you through. I'm fairly calm, but I've got a feeling like I might end up. I might just end up wildcarding. How bad could it go? How bad could it go? Really bad. A Greaves bullet header to wipe out double Forest clean sheet would be so good. Honestly, there was part of me wanting to back against Chris Wood and play Greaves this week. But I didn't do it. I know I've been discussing and thinking about wildcard all week. Who says that Ortega starts? What's for lunch? I don't know yet. I had salad for breakfast. Weirdly, I always have porridge like pretty much every single day. I just couldn't bother to have it this morning. I went for a walk, got home about 10:30, and got picked up a salad on the way home. So I don't know what to have for lunch now. Wild card of Kepa, Henderson, Gabriel, Aina. I think Aina's too expensive in my opinion, but I think a Forest defender is good in general. Aitner, Livramento, Munoz, Bruno, Odegaard, Elanga, Kluivert, Salah, Haaland, Beto, and Strand Larsen. So I haven't looked at that particular draft and what it will look like in future weeks, but I can tell you that I've considered most of those players at one point or another, and I think it's okay. I think it's fine. If you want to keep Salah, you've got to have a cheap forward line. I'd probably go for Evan Nielsen if you can over one of those forwards. Water or milk? Milk with a porridge. No, I took the dog with me. We went to the beach. She absolutely loved it. Hour and 10 minutes we were out for. Bad choice to walk over all the pebbly parts of Salt Hill Beach, though. Because all she was doing was looking for seaweed, and it was a pain in the arse to walk on. Castagna, Ouattara, Cresswell, bench 1. Cresswell's not guaranteed to start, by the way. Like, there's like I've seen some people like thinking about him on wildcard. I think it's I think it's a pretty bad pick. If they keep playing a back 3, he'll probably keep playing. In which case, he's probably better than Ouattara. So for this week, I'd probably go for Cresswell. But if you're thinking about like, wildcarding him or free hitting him, I probably wouldn't risk it. Start Aina or Vardio on free hit. I'm going to say Vardio at home. 3 free transfers: Trent, Ouattara, Palmer, and Isak for Williams, Bruno, Kluivert, and Haaland for -4. Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah, I like it. Aina to Munoz and Wanyeri to Salah for a -8 next week. Probably not, no. I don't think that will necessarily be worth a -8. Porridge for lunch? Nah, no porridge today. No porridge today. Can I have one day off? Have you been back to your favourite car park? I have since I did that video, but not today. I want to get a golden retriever as a dog. What are they like? They're great dogs. Like, great dogs. But all I'll say is if you're thinking about getting a dog, like, especially if you're getting like a puppy, they are hard work. Like, really hard work. And if you're not prepared to like get up multiple times in the night to take them out to like the loo and stuff to get them trained and you know, and walks every day, like yapping in the middle of the night and whining till they're like 1 and a bit sometimes, like, don't do it. And if you're not prepared to walk them, don't do it either. And they do shed a lot, yeah. Do I watch Crufts? No. I have seen it, but I don't regularly tune into it. Is it worth getting a goalkeeper for a -4? If you haven't got a playing one, I definitely would, yeah. Will we definitely get the double game week 33 fixtures before 31 deadline? I guess it's not a definite, but it'd be very surprising if we don't have it. Can't hear me? Take your hands off your ears, maybe. Captain 1, in Burmo, Bruno, Wood, or Kluivert? Probably Wood. I wouldn't captain in Burma out of those 3. Raising my 2 puppies was just as hard as raising my toddlers. Brace yourself. They're hard work puppies, that's for sure. I love my dog, but I won't be getting another one. So much hard work and expenses. Yeah, I feel like our dog's like 5 now, and I feel like you kind of forget like what it was like when they were growing up. Now it's like great, you know, she's pretty well trained. She sleeps through the night, etc. Anyway, let's get off dog chat. Finally finished my transfers. Took a -100 in Captain Salah. Nice. Why am I having the sense that Bruno Fernandes will haul this week? Because he's great. One of the best players to own in FPL at all times. Start Cresswell or Ouattara. This week I'd probably start Cresswell and hope he starts again, but I wouldn't be buying him. Cats are the same. I used to be a cat person, but now I can't understand how I was ever a cat person. Dogs are just so superior. Anyway, I'm not getting into a cat and dog debate. I'll give my opinion now. That's it. Bruno last 5 returns in the Premier League have all been set pieces. I mean, he is playing that number 6 role. Like, not necessarily number 6, but like he's playing that slightly deeper role. But he still gets forward at times, still on set pieces, penalties, blah, 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 blah. I think if I wildcard Bruno, he probably unless Bournemouth beat Man City in the FA Cup, Bruno just gets sold pretty quick. Watkins, Cunha, Trent, and Gabriel. Watkins, Cunha, Trent. I already don't like it because I don't see the point in selling Gabriel, but let's see. To Haaland, Evan Nielsen, 8 Nuri, and Williams for a -8. I wouldn't sell Gabriel for a -4. Or Watkins, Cunha, Trent, Evan Nielsen, Wood, and 8 Nuri, -4. Can't get Haaland without Gabriel out. I'd probably. I can't see the sense in selling Gabriel, really, even to get Haaland, so I'd probably do the latter. Have 12 this week. Do I take no hit and play Robinson against Spurs and bench Rutaro, or take a -4? I'd probably just play Robinson. What does the overall winner of FPL get as a prize? I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's in the rules somewhere. A trip to the UK to watch a couple of games or something like that, I think it is. I don't need to worry about it because I'm never going to win it. So I don't need to check what I'm never going to get. Why am I keeping Palmer on wildcard? Why should I get rid of him? I took a -4. How close am I to wildcard? I don't know. There's part of me just thinks just do it. Hope for the best. The problem is with whether I wildcard or not, I'm going to work out. Like, if I take this -4, I'm going to work out what my wildcard would have got. And if I wildcard, I'm going to work out what my -4 would have got. And either way, I'll probably be really disappointed in not doing one or the other. What's your other YouTube channel called? If you go to my main Let's Talk FPL channel and scroll down, you'll see the other channels. Rogers to Semenya for -4, wildcard 31, and will bench Rutara. Yeah, don't hate it. It'll help you next week as well. Although Rogers is not bad next week, I suppose. I wouldn't sell Visser for a hit. I'm not even sure I'd transfer him out for free in most cases. I definitely wouldn't take a hit. Just do it and take the chance it's not an Andy move. Yeah, but, like, I have thought about it. I kind of understand how it works. Like, let's say I go for this wild card. Potentially, I could sell Fernandes and Wood to Eze and Isak next week. So that gives me a benching headache straight away. I'd have Haaland against Leicester, Isak against Brentford, Evan Nielsen against Ipswich, Palmer against Spurs, Sarr and Eze versus Southampton, and Kluivert and Semenyo against Ipswich as well. I could even potentially bench boost in 30 if I do that. So I'd have a pretty good team next week. I'd have 6 double game weekers for 32. Then I start thinking about 33, 34. And hope that it falls in a way where I free hit 33. How would you compare Wood and Kluivert as captain? I feel like it's almost coin flip. I'd probably go Chris Wood because I think he's got more threat from open play. They're both on penalty, so probably just about Chris Wood. And also fixture-wise is probably better apart from the fact it's away. But if you wanted to go Kluivert, like, that's also fine. I would wildcard. Chance of having to take hits down the line, but 100% chance of taking hits this week. That is true, yeah. That is true. It's just... So the chances are, right, you wildcard this week and you manage the rest of the season with actually very little trouble and you're not that far behind in most cases. Okay, you might have Eze and Sarr instead of Eze and Mateta, and that could be massively wrong for the double or whatever. But generally, you're probably okay. There's just that slight worry that the fixture's fallen away where everyone that wildcards 31 just absolutely crushes you. And then it's like season over. And that's the worry. It's just that little thing for me. Ipswich are much worse than Brentford. Defensively, they are worse, yeah, but it is an away game versus home, you know? Usually wait for as much news as possible. Wildcard now is not your style. I don't think that's true. I've wildcarded early plenty of times, although most of the time that is with the fixtures. Like, there's a few times where we've had fixture info like put out and people have been afraid to wildcard and I've just gone early, but this is a little bit different. There'll be a lot of hits this game week. But then Yeah, again, I understand what people are saying. Everyone's taking hits, so if you take hits, it's not as bad. But also, if you wildcard, you're even more up, right? I've actually muted myself. Oops. This time it wasn't the ears. Someone's ears. What are the chances there are 2 double game weeks left this season? Extremely high. Like, pretty much 100%. Wutara or Colwill on field? Wutara, I think. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how Henderson is back in the squad, but it is what it is. How different will this wildcard be in 30? I don't know is the honest answer. I guess it's got a chance of being a little bit different because you know the fixtures. But ultimately, whether you wildcard in 29, 30 or 31, you're having to get 6 Newcastle Palace players and then manage 33 and 34. But obviously, like, I'm really not trying to play this down too much. Obviously, having the fixture information will be handy because there'll be certain... Like, I'm picking Nico Williams. I suspect unless the fixtures fall a certain way, like, he won't be on many wildcards after 29. Like, I'm not sure how useful he really is. Like, once you've got the fixtures in... Like, let's say, for example, you get the fixture information, Brighton are going to double in 33. You probably have someone like, Van Heck in your team instead because the double in 33 for Brighton rather than having Nico Williams. Because the thing with Forest is, even if they blank in 34, they probably won't double in 33. Don't wildcard and then do an Egypt stream saying your old team got 2 more points. Well, I'm going to check. Because if I don't check, someone else will check for me. Someone will always want to tell me how badly I've done. Trust me. David, new member, thank you. Trent for Kirkes, Isak to Harden and Palmer to Fernandes for a -8, worth it. I don't really like selling Palmer, but I kind of get it with the rest of the moves. It's probably okay. Should I take a -8 to bring in Clivert and Haaland for Palmer and Isak if I already have 11 players? I have a Wutara, Wood Captain, and plan to wildcard 31. Yeah, I don't hate it if you're already on 11, yeah. Though -8 to sell Palmer, it does sound a bit crazy, but I do understand it. If you really want Haaland captain, I guess you got to do it. I'm doing a free hit. Should I start Foden or Gibbs White? Current information, probably Gibbs White. If we get elite, the Foden starts Foden. I know you prefer Wood over Bruno captain. By the way, when I say that, like, flip a coin. If you want to go Bruno, Bruno's also good. United look very good versus Sociedad. Does that match change your mind at all? I'm tempted to go Bruno. Not really. Like, for some of it, Sociedad were down to 10 men. Like, Man United, I think Man United were okay in that game for what it's worth. But I still just about prefer Wood. But it's so close. If you want to go Bruno, you should. I also saw some chat that, like, maybe Casemiro starting actually helps Bruno. And it might be Ugarte that starts against Leicester. So I don't know how much to factor that in. Like, Bruno will still get forward at times, but when did I sell Bruno? I think I sold him when he got a red card. The second red card. Sociedad are 11th in Spain, right? And where are Leicester? They're not even in Spain. 2 penalties, yeah. The goal was good, though. You finally bought the magnificent Chris Wood. Bet he blanks. I can't, honestly, I kind of want to wildcard and just go without him. There's such a temptation just to do that. But I'm not quite sure how it works. I've not thought about it enough. I would have to get someone like a Langer in midfield. Then I'd also have to free up some money from elsewhere. And I'm not quite sure who. In fact, I'm looking at... Oh my god. So I'm looking at Luke's squad. This is nuts, right? Team value wise, Luke's wildcard squad. I can't even. I'm 0.5 million off of it, and that's with Nico Williams instead of Saliba. That is nuts. My team value is absolutely my team value is not bad, but compared to some people, it's just absolutely awful. I'm messaging that. I don't know what my team value is, but I can't afford his draft by... In fact, let me just put Saliba in so I can see exactly how far off I am. I'm 2.3 million off of Luke's draft. Have I messed something up? Semenyo, Kluivert, Elanga, Bruno. 2.3 million off. I don't know what his rank. I think he's lower ranked than me. That is nuts. No leaks. No leaks so far. You would have lost 0.5 million minimum last night. Yeah, I lost 0.3 at least. Vardio, Evan Nilsson, and Fernandez, I guess. Still, 2.3 million. I was never close to it, was I? No Haaland got kept. Bruno, Wood, and Gabriel instead. Nice, good luck. No free transfers. Need to sell Lewis to have a full 11. Should I go for Everton defender? Already have Mikalenko or take another hit to sell Palmer? Nah, I would. You could always go Wolves if you don't. You could go like Agbadu if you don't want to go double Everton. Depends how much money you've got to spend. Captain 1, Visser, Strand Larson, Gibbs White. Strand Larson out of those, but that's a pretty horrible choice, I think. Gibbs White or Elanga, I can afford both. Probably Gibbs White. If it's a long-term pick, I prefer Elanga for the money. Who should I captain out of Bruno, Mbeumo, Wood, Kluivert? Probably Wood, but again, Bruno, Wood, Kluivert, all very close, I think. Free hit, Evan Nilsson or Jimenez. Evan Nilsson, Gabriel and Milenkovic. Probably Gabriel. I know it's quite boring, but... Maybe I should try and get more team value next year. It can be very handy. Do I just wildcard? But what if I get destroyed? What if everyone unsubscribes? It'd be a nightmare. Not only will I have a bad rank, I'll have no job. I'm not free hitting, 100% not. The other thing is, right, Luke got on Salah a lot later than me as well. So he lost a bit of team value there. He must have just had other players earlier on. Imagine that. A really bad rank, no wild card, and no job. That'd be a nightmare. Chris Wood did damage to your squad value. True. But I don't think I doubt Luke would have had Chris Wood. Maybe he did. If it goes wrong, it will drive up the views. I think that's not actually correct, honestly. I promise you now, if you make FPL content, you really want to do well. It really helps, like subscribers and views and stuff. Like it might get more people watching right now, but that's about it. Trust me. When will you wildcard realistically? This week, next week, or 31? Realistically, one of those 3 weeks. I'm very tempted to just hit it now, though. No, people are wrong about controversy. I'm not like in some genres of the internet. Obviously, that helps, but not this one. Already on -4 with Tara to Elanga Minter for -8. I probably wouldn't do that. I think with Utara, I'm very indifferent about whether the -4 is worth it. If I don't wildcard, I probably won't take it. I think it's fine. I've done and hit the wildcard. Went with Evan Nilsson over Beto. Salah on the bench. Nice. Could wildcard. Evan Nilsson. Evan Nilsson over Wanyeri. Fernandez over Utara. Semenyo over Mbeumo is not really an upgrade. Vardio I quite like this week. Nico Williams. We're here for your car park recommendations, not your FPL rank. That's good to know. Then would you use managership 31 to 33? Maybe, but I don't have it, so I don't need to think about it. No, 31 to 33 if Palace back-to-back double could be nice. And no hits, yeah. I've only taken a -4. I've only taken a -4, and the team looks kind of okay. The thing is, it's very hard just to think about what the best move is without thinking about like what could go wrong. So not only could the fixtures screw me, but like if Everton keep a clean sheet, for example, and Arsenal don't, you're already down on points before anything else. And I think Everton have got a pretty good chance of a clean sheet this week. I think the team looks okay. Yeah, it does look okay, doesn't it? I still kind of want a wild card though. Evan Nielsen, Fernandez, and Semenyo instead of Mbeumo, Wanyeri, Ouattara. Is that enough? Vardio instead of Anderson. Raya instead of Pickford. Nico Williams instead of Mikalenko. The thing is, I could just have to wildcard in 30 instead. I don't think wildcard 31 is that strong. I think it could be pretty strong, honestly. I like being able to wildcard with all the double game week info in front of you is a really strong position to be in. Your team looks grim. I got a minute. Sometimes I look at that team and I think it's actually okay, and then other times I think it needs a wild card. I'm so unsure. Don't play your wild card, and if you regret it later, blame a hacker. Oi, that hacking was legit. I will pay you $1 million to wild card. Wire transfer it now, and then I'll get it done. Part of the reason I want a wildcard is I don't want to have to like think about wildcarding all international break, because I actually don't know if I can hit the button straight away. Don't wildcard. You've sold Salah. What is probably the right move, but only 10% of people have done it. If I can sell Salah on wildcard. Not only can I sell the best player of all time for FPL, I can also wildcard him out. KSI's guidance. On a Game Week 29 wildcard, Raya and Murillo or Sara and Milenkovic. Probably the Raya route if you can. Watkins, Trent out for Haaland. Watkins, Trent out for Haaland and Agbadu for free. Yeah, definitely. Evan Nielsen or Strand Larsen, Evan Nielsen, Fernandez or Kluivert. Flip a coin. I'm going to say Kluivert just about. Change to Milenkovic from Aina enables Matoma, or keep Aina and go Min to Rutter. I get Matoma. -4 goalkeeper in Sell Hall, or -4 Palmer and he's at Haaland and midfielder. Probably the goalkeeper in Sell Hall. Oh, my throat's hurting. Is wildcard essential? No. Again, you should absolutely not wildcard unless you absolutely have to. And I guess I don't absolutely have to. Could Mbeumo score today, for example? Mbeumo could score today. How did your mic not pick that up? Not pick what up? Haaland or Wood for what? All right, please don't spam. Please don't spam. Yeah, okay. Why not wildcard 32 or 33? No real drama or swings in 31. My team cannot get through to Game Week 32 with no wildcard, I don't think. I mean, if you're going to wildcard 32, I guess you don't need Newcastle and Palace players quite so much, but they've still got good fixtures before the double, so I don't see the point for my team saving it until 32. Best attacking right back that's not Trent. For England, Reece James, maybe. Conor Bradley for Liverpool, not bad. Hoping my birthday luck comes through today. Happy birthday. Thoughts on Palmer, Watkins, Justin, and Wanieri to Foden, Wood, Kirkhead, and Semenyo? I quite like it as long as Foden definitely starts. And obviously, you've got the same headache next week about whether he definitely would or not. -8, Haaland, Beto, and Haaland. I'm assuming that's Beto and Kirkhead for Watkins, Isak, and Trent. Is it worth it? Probably, yeah. If you're not going to wildcard or anything this week, would you start Wutar over Castagna? I'd probably go Castagna. 29 months, thank you. If I still had assistant manager, who would I pick this week? Honestly, I've not thought about it. I don't even know who's got table bonus this week. I guess Ipswich against Forest, I probably wouldn't do that. I guess I would probably go Iraola because he's got Ipswich next week. Might be pretty good. Free hit, Evan Nilsson or Jimenez? Evan Nilsson, Gabriel or Milenkovic? Gabriel. I think you already asked me that, no? Why does it have to... What I didn't understand is why did it have to be a right back for FPL? Why can't it be a left back? If you heard Marmoush was starting, would you prefer him to Evan Nilsson? I'm not sure I would, to be honest with you, but I think as a differential, he's quite nice on free hit. I wouldn't wildcard him in or anything, though. Best midfielder under 8 million for this week only. Clivert, probably. With all the hits flying around... free hit is an advantage before a minute is played. Yeah, that always happens though, but obviously people that aren't using their free hit will gain an advantage back later on. You have a feeling that Southampton will beat Wolves? That'd be quite funny. I think Clivert's a viable captain option this week. If no Haaland or Bruno, yes. I'm also a bit disappointed to have no Bruno in my team, to be honest. If you can, you should wildcard after the international break, for sure. Wanieri is very much a differential. I'm not sure he's a good differential, though. Would you do Fabianski to Areola for -4 or go with 10? I would switch keeper. I wouldn't necessarily go to Areola, though. Maybe Kepa or something like that. On wildcard, an assistant manager in 30. Who would you captain this week? Bruno or Wood? Probably Wood, just about. I like Bruno as the differential, though. Like Chris Wood will probably be the heaviest captain player this week. What players do I need to look out for future doubles? No Palace or Newcastle and wildcard. Palace and Newcastle is probably your next priority for 32. But you don't need to buy them this week, obviously. But if you've only got funds for Areola, I would do it, yeah. Yeah. With these moves, you'll probably end up really high. If wildcard, probably not, right? Well, presumably I would be further ahead with wildcard, but obviously long term that might not be the case. Like, I think even if you think wildcard's a bad idea this week, I don't think I don't think anyone would argue that my wildcard team should outscore this team, but it doesn't necessarily matter, right? It's about how many points I get for the last 10 game weeks. Or Marmoush starts, apparently. There you go. If anyone wants to take a punt on free hit, or if you're definitely wildcarding in game week 30, you could go for him as a punt. I could wildcard Marmoush instead of Chris Wood. I could wildcard Marmoush instead of Chris Wood and then just completely force myself into removing Chris Wood next week for removing Marmoush for Isak next week. Kirkes or Mikolenko? Mikolenko. No, sorry, Kirkes, sorry. Your defenders next week for... Your defenders for next game week is really bad. I know. This is the thing. It's what I keep trying to say. If I don't wildcard this week, I'm probably going to have to wildcard next week anyway, and we still might not have the confirmed double game week info. That's what I'm trying to get across. What's your plan for bringing back Salah? Wildcard at some point, maybe. Wildcard and maybe bring him in. I'm going to have to go to the loo in a minute, by the way. Hate to say. I'm putting it out there. Marmoush instead of Wood. Just go all in against Chris Wood, but it feels kind of. That's really like you probably shouldn't do that. No last minute forward transfers, they never work. Tell me about it. Gibbs, what? Semenyo. Do we have info about Lewis? Rico Lewis? Not that I've seen. Marmouche instead of Chris Wood. Yeah, it's got me tempted now. Wildcard, Marmouche, then just get rid of him next week. We won't get leaks next week, will we, for Game Week 30? No, Man City are playing on the Wednesday. Maybe you just keep Marmouche for Leicester. Now I feel like I'm getting myself in trouble. I would wildcard with your thing. You're probably booking 1 to 2 red arrows. I don't think that's necessarily true. So I could wildcard next week. Should I go Foden on free hit? I'd be tempted to, yeah. But I don't know if he definitely starts. I'm not saying get... Like, if you've got Marmouche, obviously you just play him, right? I don't know why. The Marmouche leak has got me, like... Do I just wildcard and get him instead of Chris Wood? Just go all in on it. Why not? But Chris Wood's playing Ipswich. It's like... It's not the right move to make. I know it's not. And also, if I get stuck with him, I'd rather have Chris Wood. No, I can't do it. You know, it's a blocked account that was not reliable before that shared the news. It was FPL newsletter, right? Oh, they have got the odd thing wrong, but they're generally correct. I haven't actually seen it. Yeah. We could have put this behind an email entry rule. They need to come up with a different copy paste, I think, for that. How about Marmouche, Harden, and Wood on a free hit? Look, I don't mind Marmouche as a differential. Do I think he's definitely better than Chris Wood or Evan Nielsen this week? Not really. But on a free hit, you can take that kind of risk. Salah, Trent, and Cunha to Harden, Vardy, or Clive at -4 makes 10. That sounds pretty good. I would be tempted to get rid of Lewis Hall, yeah. If you can get to Vardy... Oh, no, sorry, you're already getting Vardy. I'd be tempted by 8 Nuri, maybe. But Forest defender's pretty solid for 2 weeks. Start to Mikalenko, Wanieri, and Anderson. Wanieri and Mikalenko, I think. Should I go... Oh, yeah, I did that one with Foden. I think Garnacho will start, yeah. Forget all this. What about Fantasy Challenge? I've not played Fantasy Challenge all season. I was actually speaking to someone about it the other day. Personally, I would play it more if it was just FPL rules every week and it was just a free hit team. Because I wouldn't have to think about it quite so much. I would already know which kind of players are worth picking. I don't want to have to... I know some people really enjoy that. I don't really want to have to think, okay, this week it's tackles if your team wears red shorts or whatever the rules are. I just don't want to... you get extra 3 points if you wear black socks this week. I don't want those kind of rules. I just want to know when I'm going into it what kind of team to pick. I don't want to have to think too much about it. Yeah, and there will be a lot of people that enjoy it, but it's just not for me. I just think more people would like. What I also said to this person was, I've never been asked how come you've not made an FPL challenge video this week, and the reason I say that is if people are wildcard, I'll always get asked, "What can you make a wildcard video?" So it just shows that I'm not saying that necessarily that means no one is playing it, but presumably there's not that many people that are invested. I'm gonna guess who are playing it every week. This week challenges pick 7 aside, no budget. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. If the rules are just the same as FPL, I can just go and think about that pretty quickly. So I'd be tempted to do it. I'm probably not going to do it, but I'd be more tempted. And I'm probably not going to just do it now. Trent and Rogers and Isak and Palmer for Milenkovic, Fernandez, Semenyo and Haaland. That's for a -4. That sounds great, honestly. Love it. Yeah. I don't know if it's a wild card. I'm kind of worried about getting rid of Mbermo. Thinking Burma could do all right this week. Although I wouldn't have him on free hit, so maybe not. I don't want to think about this at all. Where is... Oh, yeah. You should definitely start building a 7-a-side team instead of deciding on a wild card. Yeah, probably not. If we say Imbermo is as good as Semenyo, let's say Imbermo is as good as Semenyo this week. I think they're quite equal, especially when you take into account penalties. It's then Evanilson and Fernandez versus Wanyeri and Wutara. And Vardio instead of Anderson. It's probably not worth it, is it? I think Imbermo is as good as Semenyo, if not better. So Fernandez versus Wanyeri, Evanilson versus Wutara, and Vardio versus Anderson, and save a -4. I think Pickford and Mikalenko are fine. I think I'm going to have to wildcard 30 though. If you're still debating it, you should probably not do it. Yeah, I've been quite invested in it though all week. So I've got my team ready to go. It's not like I'm suddenly, like with 16 minutes to go, having to think about what my team would look like. Challenge is a good place to have fun with punts. But I think you could do that with a free hit team every week based on FPL scoring. I can hear you on knee-jerk stream saying you regret not wildcarding. Maybe I just won't do a stream. I just don't know if wildcard 30 is like that much better. I can't get through to 31 without a wildcard, I don't think. Like next week, my defence is going to be Mikalenko against Liverpool, Anderson versus Arsenal, Greaves, who's just rubbish, and Trent is injured. So only Gabriel's good next week. So I still need 2 defenders. If I do Wutara for Semenyo, but then we're going around the same conversation. If I do Wutara to Semenyo, then yes, okay, I've got another good player for next week, but also it's another -4. Palmer or Hudson-Odoi? 1 week only? Maybe Hudson-Odoi. Long term, definitely not. Start Greaves or Colwill? I'm going to say Colwill. No, I'm going to say Greaves. Why not? Going to wildcard 30, -4, Isak to Evanilson. Gana. Not sure who that is. Ghana. Not sure who that is to Bruno, but it sounds quite nice, whoever that is. No info on Lewis. Going without Haaland again feels scary as it used to. For next game week, Mateta or Evanilson, Mateta. Will I prioritise Colwill to Munoz or Visser to Mateta? Probably Colwill to Munoz, I think. Triple captain use chip strategy ahead. Full squad. Tidy no minus. Just wait until the FA Cup results are done, then figure it out, honestly. If you've already taken a -4, you might as well stick. But obviously, I could just wildcard and get rid of it. Evanilson or Marmouche? I think Evanilson's probably still better. But I quite like Marmouche as a differential, honestly. Palmer or Hudson-Odoi did that. 1 free transfer, Trent to Milenkovic. -4 to get Bruno and keep Palmer, or -8 to get Bruno and Haaland but lose Palmer. Probably just keep Palmer, I think. Yeah, Marmouche starts. We've seen that, yeah. I wonder if that means Foden gets benched. If you're on free hit, I wouldn't pick Foden unless you get news that he's starting. I think that's a little bit of a worry now. Where's Bruno? You had him for his poor start to the season. Why not now? I just went for a Clivert and Wood instead of Bruno and Evanilson. It was quite close call. Palmer or Imbermo on free hit. Imbermo. Look at the bright side. Once you're locked, you'll no longer need to think when to wildcard. True, yeah. Unless, of course, I try and talk myself into waiting until 31. Pork pie or Scotch egg? Scotch egg. I don't like pork pies because of the jelly. I used to hate that as a kid whenever you'd see it. Thanks for the stream and the Marmouche leak. Teams, well, it wasn't me that leaked it, but teams now locked and we can finally start the family day out. Good, enjoy it. Haven't I been watching Haaland recently? Not massively, no. I mean, Haaland's got 1 goal in the last 3 games. Chris Wood's got 0. So is Haaland not more in form than Chris Wood? And he's got more goals than him this season. Have you not been watching Chris Wood recently? Hardly any XG, no goals. Don't captain him. We're not worried with the Marmouche news that Haaland doesn't start. Not really. I think if Haaland wasn't starting, we would have heard about it. Please don't put that kind of thing into my head right now. That is the last thing I need, honestly. Haaland benching and I'm wildcarding and I'm probably putting Salah back in. Already done 2 free transfers. Cunha, Rodgers to Lars and Clive. Already done 2 free transfers. Cunha, Rodgers to Lars and Clive. But 4 playing defenders. Cole, Aitnuri, Gabriel Maglenko. Take a -4. Trent Vardio, Kirkis to bench Colwell. Nah, I'd probably just play him. Oh, wait. If you're going to wildcard 31, I'd be tempted to get Vardio. If not, I'd just play him. I do need the lube. I think I can hold off for 11 minutes. Just about. So I should have put somewhere how much money I lost in Salah. Everyone keeps asking. I think it's like 0.6. Let's just say 0.6. Probably 0.6. Check the betting odds. Man City drifting suggests Haaland could be benched. Don't. Come on. Is that true? Rob T, where are you? Rob T sometimes watches. No, I don't put Haaland benching in. No. People are trolling. Go in the ball. Vocal had a source confirm that Haaland starts. Okay, let me just start blocking some trolls a second. There we go. Jeez, lots of trolls today. Percentage on wildcarding, I don't know. Like, low, I guess. Lowish. Get Milenkovic, Williams, or Howson for next 2 game weeks. Is there a chance that Howson gets benched? I think it's a low chance because Zabani and Senesi's back soon, right? But probably Howson for next 2. Haaland just flew over your roof. Nice. On his way to the Etihad. Start Anderson, Fulham, or Wanieri? Wanieri, I think he'll start. Don't stop. I'm really... Oh, God, this is going to be an interesting one. Here we go. I'm really a big fan, but I can't believe you're starting Haaland and Palmer. Others are good picks. You don't really have to use all your money for a good team, you know. What's wrong with Haaland? The guy scored 20 goals this season. What's the problem with him? Start one of Wanieri, João Pedro, or Anthony Robinson. Probably João Pedro out of those. Leicester has not scored at home since a 2-2 against Brighton in Game Week 15. Leicester goal difference in the last 8 games is 2-18. Having only scored in 1 game in the last 8. 2 win against Spurs. Nice. Yeah, I think Man United defenders are okay this week. I was 100% sure you would wildcard. I could still wildcard. This is the team. This is the potential wildcard team. By the way, captaincy in the stream is 49% Haaland, only 28% Wood. I'm a bit surprised by that. But as I've discussed now many times on the stream, basically the upgrades really are Evan Nielsen for Wanieri and Fernandez in for Ouattara and Vardio in for Anderson. Is that enough to wildcard? I think Pickford's fine this week up against Raya. Surely it makes sense to save the wildcard, then you can spend weeks or at least days peddling wildcard. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I honestly, I'm just looking forward to 2 weeks off. I don't want a wild card to get views. I promise you, it doesn't work quite like that. Have you ever noticed that the only people that ever say that are people that don't do YouTube? You never hear another FPL YouTuber say, "Do you know what, I'm going to wildcard this week because it will definitely get tons more views," because they know that's not how it works. Take a -4. Either to do Henderson to Sales to field 11, or Witara to Semenyo or Savinio to field 10, but get someone decent, or just do both with no hit. What? I would take a -4 to field 11, but remember that Henderson's got Southampton on a double soon. Literally wildcarded for views. I've not even wildcarded. Jesus. Don't forget Rude was a caretaking manager for Man United. If someone knows how to obliterate this United defence, it's him. Not with Leicester, he doesn't. Ranieri to Clive for a -4. I wouldn't do that, I don't think. No, I think Ranieri will probably start. Am I hungry? A little bit, I guess. I only ate breakfast like 10:30. Not eaten since. Definitely going out to get food straight after this. Do it at high upside and good for you to not be on the same strategy as everyone else. Yeah, but it could also be terrible. The thing is, I can just wildcard next week. Oh, he wildcarded for views. Oh, okay. I'll unhide them. Sorry. Yeah, Marmoush starts. We've seen that now. That's been out for a little while. Palmer and Wanyari or Bruno and Gibbs White -4. Probably Bruno and Gibbs White for this week. Next week, maybe not so much. Start with Taro or Mikalenko. I think Mikalenko. Yeah, I'd go for the guaranteed start. I think. I mean, I really hope Witara starts, but if you give me £100 and I have to bet on him starting or bench, I'm betting it all on bench. Is Haaland starting? Yes, I presume he will. Odds out of 10, you do wildcard. I think it's quite low now. 5 minutes to go. I don't think I'm going to do it now. Either way. I can't wait for the deadline. Honestly, I've agonized over this all week. I've spent way too much time thinking about it. Even as someone that makes YouTube content, I've spent way too much time thinking about Wildcard 29. Wildcard legit is viable if you think about it with 5 free transfers. Easy second mini wildcard. Yeah, if you're in that position, that's great. I've only got 2 free transfers though, but I agree it can still work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to wildcard 30 though, but let's see. Let's see. FPL Tony confirms a Haaland start apparently. Let me have a look. Did he tweet out or are you just on Patreon? Wildcard in 31, best combo. Semenyo Milenkovic Howson or Clive Agbadu. Oh, sorry, Semenyo. Do you know what? I'm probably. I think it's probably Semenyo and Howson. But I'd be tempted to go for the penalty taker and Clive. Savio, is he tweeting this or are you just getting off Patreon, by the way? Oh, yeah, Savio starts. What to do with Witara? Honestly, I'm a little bit tempted to take a hit, but just take the -8. I did talk about taking a -8 this week quite a lot. Just go for someone like Semenyo. What about Garnacho? Can I convince anybody by a Garnacho punt? How many minutes did Garnacho play last time out? Started in Europe as well. Did he even start last week? Yeah, 90 minutes against Arsenal. Bruno is better than him. Who Garnacho? Yeah, obviously, but he's more money, right? I've only got Wutara. I've got like 6.1 million to spend if I sell Wutara for a hit. It would have to be Semenyo, really. Oh, I don't know. I'm tempted just to do it. Just take another -4, -8 and not wildcard. Then I should just wildcard. Surely. I don't think I can wildcard now. Got Garnacho on free hit, nice. I know. I'm just gonna leave it. I think whatever I end up doing, I'm not gonna feel great about it at deadline. And maybe in that case, if it's not gonna feel good either way, maybe I just save the wild card. Already taking a -4 for Trent. I actually feel I don't know how to describe it. I just feel weird about it. It's so stupid. Like it's an FPL decision for Christ's sake. Already taken -4 for Trent and Hall to Vardio and Kirkers. Need help with final decision. A. Johnson, Ipswich at home. Oh, to Aina. B. Wutara to Kluivert. I'll be honest. I got to check if Johnson's been starting. I don't even know. Where is he? Yeah, he's not. So neither are guaranteed starters, right? I guess I would probably do Wutara to Kluivert. I think there's more upside in that than changing the defender. Less than a minute, by the way, to the deadline. 50 seconds. I'm not wildcarding. I don't feel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be gutted if Vardio absolutely smashes it and Semenyo hauls and so does Evan Nielsen. It's going to be an absolute killer. I need Wanieri to do something. I really need a Everton clean sheet. Oh, look at Praz's team. It's almost perfect. So good. Game week relying on Wanieri. Yeah, I'm pro. I suspect I probably will be wildcarding 30, but let's see. Like my team's going to look pretty bad for game week 30. We're locked in. No wildcard. Don't feel great about it at all. Who is Praz you keep talking about? Praz, legend. Go and follow Praz. Stop with the. I love that. Stop with the Palmer agenda. What? I don't think I've even mentioned him at all during this whole stream. Why are people so strange? What did I do in the end? I did Salah, Cunha, Watkins to Kluivert, Wood, and Haaland captain, and I'm going to hope that's enough. If I get even if I get a small red arrow this week, I'd probably take it right now. Yeah, Wanieri probably only will get 60 minutes max. Do you hit the wildcard 30 button today? I don't know about that. Probably. I think I probably will because I'll have the FA Cup results and I'll just have to take a chance at some point. But we'll see. We'll see. Is Foden benched? I hope people listen to the problem with videos sometimes is what a lot of people do is they skip to the team and then they just make a comment without listening. So there'll probably be some people that looked at my free hit draft and didn't hear me say I think I said I probably wouldn't go with Foden unless we get a leaky starts. With only a -4, you might be on a green arrow when the site comes back out. I'm not sure about that. Right, I've got to do the sleeper draw for. Why didn't you talk about Luke Shaw video? There must be an agenda. I've got to do the sleeper draw for game week 28. I think. Hang on. I think these 5 people all got 9. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 9. Sorry, 5 people got 9 correct in game week 28. I got 8. That's the first time I've seen myself that high up the leaderboard. So I'm going to spin this. This is for a £50 Amazon voucher. If you want to get your pick submitted for Game Week 29, link in the description below. Joe Renzo 07. I'm going to message you after this stream asking for your email address to send you the £50 Amazon voucher. So that is coming. Great dedication with that bladder control. I really need to pee. Yeah. I laugh every time I see you struggle with FPL options. Yeah. You'd be regretting Game Week 29 wildcard. I don't know if I would, but I'm probably going to stream tomorrow. I think like the international break, usually I do a bit of content, but it's almost no point until we get the FA Cup results. So I'm probably going to do a stream tomorrow. Not guaranteed, but probably. And then we'll see how much I would have scored more if I'd gone wildcard. Let's put a number on it right now. If the wildcard, including the hit I took this week, would have scored 12 plus, I think it was probably right to wildcard. And now I've said that out loud. I'm pretty sure the wildcard can outscore this team by 12 plus, and maybe I should have done it. Oh, God. Which goalkeeper to buy? Can't get sales budget, not an issue. It's too late now, the deadline's gone. But I probably would have said Kepa. Knowing whether Arsenal doubles alone is worth it to wildcard or not, I don't necessarily agree because I don't want to talk about wildcard 29. I don't want to talk about it. So if I'd gone double Arsenal and they didn't double, then they would have Palace at home in 34 and I would have free hit in 33. Could outscore only a few days of The thing is, I'm going to know for the most part how good or bad the wildcard would have done by today. Because tomorrow, the only extra player I would have had was Raya, but I'll know whether Pickford got a clean sheet today. And I would have had Fernandes. That's it. So today, by 7:30 tonight, I'll know whether it was an okay decision or a bad decision. Business cat. That's a very. I won't say that's a niche joke, but it's a very. You're giving away your age there, you know. And I'm giving away my age because I know what you're talking about. Now you can go all in on double game week 32 of your wild card. Well, I was gonna do that anyway. I was gonna have 4 Palace and Newcastle, then buy 2 more. Yeah, Wanyeri might not even start. He might not even start. Brentford, I need you to make the game difficult today against Bournemouth so that Utara comes on quick and then Burmo smashes it. Why wildcard 31 over 30 FA Cup? So before game week 30, we'll know the FA Cup results, but we might not know the double game week schedule. And there is a chance it won't fall as people have predicted it. I'm pretty confident that Tala, Ben, James, etc. between them will get it mostly accurate, if not completely. But even they will tell you it's impossible to 100% predict it. How's the couch to 5k going? It's actually going better than I expected it to. And what I mean by that is I've not had any injuries. And look, I'm not... Do you know what I mean? The most I've run is 22 minutes straight. So you shouldn't get too many injuries. But I've tried running before and like tight calves, back also always hurt and stuff like that. But so far nothing. Next week is the first week where there's no walking breaks for any of the runs. And it's 25 minutes. So 25 minutes Monday, 25 minutes Wednesday, 25 minutes Friday. That'll be interesting to see how that kind of impacts. I know people that run, like that's nothing. I get it. But for someone that doesn't run, all of a sudden going 3 25-minute runs a week, it's like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's the lungs are fine. Like the breathing is fine. It's more just the impact on joints and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, when I was walking in Salt Hill this morning, I was thinking it'd be so nice to run here. That's right. That's now where I want to do my first 5k on Salt Hill because it's quite flat as well for the most part. No, I didn't run today. It was just walking. No point running every day out. Dan will definitely pick up an injury. Not. I'm not saying like it'll put me out of action, not be able to move, but like it'll hurt. So we'll see. So far, it's going really good. Basically, there's 3 more weeks, and then I guess you run the 5k. To get your live reaction to this game, why not live stream today's matches? Do you know what? I could. I don't think I'm going to do that, but that could be interesting because there's a lot of good matches at 3. I'll tell you what. If Bournemouth and Brentford was also at 3 and there was no 5:30 game, or if Southampton and Wolves was at 5:30 instead, I might be tempted to do that. But I probably just won't. I do really need the loo, yeah. Yeah. They do have park runs, yeah. 30-plus-year-old knees after a Friday night 5-a-side at goals, just grim. Yeah, my knees have been okay so far. Like, I know I don't look it, but I have been going to the gym for a while, so I do squats and stuff, and I think that helps. I walk like 5K most days, so all that's like helped the running, I think. But I haven't done 3 days where I've run 25 minutes consecutively, so we'll see. Would you attribute the success of your channel to consistency or quality? What's more important in your view? I think consistency is probably more important than quality. Like, if you had to pick one, obviously both is good, but you need to be there every game week for sure. And the more content you can put out, the better. And the more consistently you can do that, the better as well. I mean, it also helped that I got on pretty early, right? Let's not pretend otherwise. I wouldn't say it was all luck, but starting when I did, when there wasn't as many people that did content, was also very handy. Now there's a lot of competition. Like, someone randomly left a comment on a video from like 2 years ago on my channel, 2 or 3 years ago, and it was just I think it was a final thoughts video or something like that from like 2 or 3 years ago, around like game week 17. It had like nearly 200,000 views. They never get that many around this time now, just because there's so much more competition. So although my overall views haven't gone down because of shorts and stuff like that, but the long form views have gone down because so many people are making content now, and it's like it's quite hard to differentiate what you're doing. Like, you're just talking about which players to bring in or sell, you know. The 25 minutes is partly mental strength. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Like, I did 22 minutes yesterday and I did 20 minutes the previous Friday, so yeah, 25 should be fine. It's whether like, the difference is last week was like 5 run, 3 walk, 8 run, 3 walk, 5 run or something like that on Monday. Then it was 10 run, 3 walk, 10 run on Wednesday. Then on Friday it was 22 minutes straight. Next week it's just 25 minutes, no breaks, every day. I don't know if I'm going to any parades on Monday, no. Took a punt on Solanke, nice, good luck. Am I waiting for lineups? I'm not ready. Yeah, I'm not really waiting for anything. I need to go and eat. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, make sure to give it a like, hit that subscribe button. I will probably do a live stream tomorrow night around 8 o'clock. And at least if it goes wrong this week, at least I've got a wild card to back it up. Not to back it up, to kind of hopefully get me out of it. The next 2 FPL weeks will seem long for most of us. Oh, I love it. I can't wait for the break, honestly. And also, it's quite nice that it's quite nice that the FA Cup games are at the end, because really content's not going to be great until those games have happened. I definitely see you as one of the OG creators in this space. There was a few more like FPL tips, etc., but you guys made it look polished. Yeah, FPL tips was making videos before me. Like, to me, FPL tips is the OG YouTuber, and then I was probably the next like wave, I guess. Yeah, probably something like that. Oh, we've only got 4 more minutes for the lineup. Do you know what? I'll just wait for the lineups now. I'm gonna go pee though. I've got to pee, so give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. By the way, something I forgot to mention in the stream, so apologies to the person that emailed me it. Someone sent me this. Let me just take a picture a minute and I'll share it. Save image. Let me call it. This is going to come. So someone sent me this. Apparently, there's someone on a stag do this weekend who watches the channel, and they're an Arsenal fan, and they've bought them a Spurs shirt with "Let's Talk FPL." Apparently, the 365 was supposed to be 345 for the amount of Twitter followers that I've got, and they just printed it wrong. Let me just find the email a sec, because I thought I'd do. So the email was from Jason. I won't read out the full names. And the stag is called Lewin. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Lewin is what I would say. So it must be Welsh, right? Yeah, I think it's Lewin. Like Ewan. Lewin, something like that. Apologies. I've probably pronounced your name wrong. But anyway, he's on a stag. I don't know where they are. I can't remember where they are. I won't say where they are. Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it. What a shirt to have to wear as an Arsenal fan. Especially with my name on. Or the channel name, I should say. Just missed you by a day on Salt Hill Strand. I was there yesterday morning. Nice. Tommy Tiernan, nice. Last thing I watched in Salt Hill was Jimmy Carr. Okay, Strand Larson, Bellegarde, Minetzi starts. Agbadou starts again for Wolves. Let me just see what else we got here. Where's the Man City lineup? This is... Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me just get rid of this. That is my team. Did Wolves go early with their team? No one else. Mikolenko starts. Beto starts, of course, and Pickford. We can probably skip Southampton. Nico Williams starts again. Basically the same team for Forest. Chris Wood starts. Oh, they've gone for the kids' pictures. Haaland starts, by the way. No Foden. No Foden or De Bruyne. Wow. Rico Lewis starts. Someone else was asking about that the other day. I'm just looking on Twitter for the lineups, by the way. Yeah, Foden and De Bruyne are on the bench. So is Grealish, but I guess that's not too much of a... Is that it? What other team news we got now? Forest. Delap presumably starts. Greaves starts. So I've got a bench this week. Is Mitoma not starting? Yeah, Vardio starts. Oh, Mitoma's not in the squad. João Pedro starts, though. Welbeck's... Yeah, Mitoma's not in the squad. Oh, no, Mitoma starts. Yeah, sorry. Jesus. When you said you had Mitoma in your free hit, you made me think that he wasn't playing. He's starting. Sorry. How long was I playing FPL before YouTube? Like 8 or 9 years, something like that. Maybe a little bit less, actually. Yeah, sorry. Mitoma is starting. So is Marmouche. Chris Wood obviously starts, yeah. Right, I'm off. Thank you very much for joining me. I will catch you probably tomorrow evening for a reaction stream I'm already hating. Foden's definitely on the bench, by the way. Anyway, I'm off. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you again soon.